Welcome back to my Lemmings Reunion level summon commentary video series, and we are finally on the fifth and final rank of the pack, which is Nightmare. So, first up is Nightmare 1, from Unrest to Entropy. Okay, for the first level in this rank, I remember this one being a little bit difficult. But there's just pretty much a timing thing that's pretty much the only thing that's hard here. But other than that, there's really like no very advanced tricks or anything. Okay, so here we start with two entrances, one on the very far left and one on the very far right over here. Alright, so first lemming out of the left entrance will mine. This allows only one lemming to slip by, where everyone else would just simply be contained between the wall and the miner tunnel here. Okay, and then same thing here. First lemming out of the right entrance will also mine, allowing one lemming to slip by, while the rest will be contained between the miner tunnel and the hydrant here. Okay, the lemming that slips one by on the left entrance will build two builder staircases in order to reach the other side. Okay, and the lemming that slip by on the right entrance will dig down in such a way so that we can cancel him later with a blocker. Okay, now we go ahead and cancel him with a blocker because it is now a safe drop. Okay, patch up this gap with builders, of course. Take two of them. Okay, he will get a floater so he can land down safely. Okay. Okay, so I did not give him a climber just yet. I let him turn around so that he can patch up this gap with a builder. And yes. So one more builder here. And yes, one of the lemmings gets a climber. Alright. We mine through this chimney here. And then after he breaks through, he builds. Okay. Once again, like I said before, he patches up this gap with a builder. And yes, whereas for this climber, we can't allow him to turn around as he does not have a floater. And if he does, he will simply fall down and splat. Okay, and then mine through this chimney. Let him go all the way through. And then we're going to go ahead and start building once he does. Okay, now I'll give him a climber. This will also take two builders. He will turn around. And then we go ahead and mine out this crowd. And yes, in the meantime, over here on the left, he goes ahead and mines. Okay, and then once this miner breaks through, then he goes ahead and builds. Yeah, he will do it twice so that he turns around. Yep, so there we go. Okay, and then once he turns back to the left, then he mines so that the crowd can step up the miner tunnel later. Okay, so I haven't done anything there yet. Alrighty. Now what is next here? Okay. So now at this time, I go ahead and dig this crowd out. Yeah, nothing there yet either. So it's just back to here. So reaching this pipe, I mine. And then at the same time, I also build this crowd up so that they can get up this miner tunnel. Okay, the crowd will fall down here first before falling the rest of the way, which will be a safe fall. And yes, the climber on the right side will dig down, and then the climber on the left side will, actually the climber, no, I think he was just a floater. He will build over the exit. Okay, and then finally, all that's left to do is to build over the water gap, in order to catch this crowd, and that's it. So, quite a decent challenge to start off the Nightmare rank. Alrighty, the next one, Nightmare 2, Castle Rush. And time limit at 2 minutes here. So, this is a time cruncher. Okay, so we had 3 entrances here. 2 at the top and then 1 at the bottom here. And yes, I remember the time when I played this on Lemmini, I kept being stumped here, and that's because I kept running out of time. Mostly due to the fact that there were a couple of things that I was doing wrong here. They weren't quite correct. As in being efficient and saving as much time as possible. Alright, so one lemming goes on ahead here. First lemming out of this entrance will dig down. Actually, 2 lemmings go on ahead for the right entrance. Yeah, they will both become floaters. Okay, next one would dig down. And then at this time I max out the release rate. And when placing the digger, we do it in such a way so that there is some pixel wall to the right, so that no one else will slip out. Okay, and maxing out the release rate is necessary. Oh, actually, hang on a second. Oh yes, at the time I maxed out the release rate, it was still possible for one to slip out to the right. Yeah, here I simply give him a bomber, so that the lemmings will spill out to the right. Yeah, as there's no little kink in the hole here to ensure that happens, so that nobody slips out to the left and falls into the firebox trap. Okay, in the meantime, the floaters that went on ahead, they will bash. And then one of them gets a climber. I believe I do it to the one in front. Yes. Okay, the one behind him will bash, of course, who will prepare this gap here. And yes, maxing out the release rate is necessary so that nobody will have too far to fall here before the digger is through. Okay, and then with one of the lemmings inside this digger pit here, to the left, he mines so that we can get this crowd out. And also the crowd that's in here as well, who will be consolidated with this group here. Alrighty, and then he will go ahead and patch up this gap. I believe it will take 3 builders. Okay, and then this final gap before the exit will take 2 builders. Okay, and then upon reaching this wall here, we will go ahead and mine. And then that's already it. Okay, and we finish, and the floater finishes mining through just in time before the crowd arrives and can turn around. So the timing here is quite tight, but well, if you follow the solution here, then yeah, you won't have a problem with anyone turning back to the left. Okay, and we also managed to finish with 12 seconds to spare as well. Alrighty, now bit 3. Lemming City Stories. Somewhat easier than the previous 2, although it's still a challenge. Alright, so we had 2 entrances here, one at the top and then one on the bottom right here over here. Okay, so after how many lemmings? No, I guess I do not max it out. Okay, now I do, but that was after several lemmings have already gone out. Alrighty, so first lemming will dig down here, and we do it in such a way so that the lemmings that are coming in to the digger pit will fall out to the left. And the first lemming that falls into the digger pit, along with the digger, will be a climber when he is facing to the left. He will be the worker lemming. So yes, as you can see, yeah, now they start spilling out to the left, but there is this low ledge here that the lemmings must land on before they fall over here. Therefore, it creates a safe drop for them, and nobody goes kersplat. Okay, in the meantime, this lemming goes to the left, and he will bash on through. Okay, and then once the digger is low enough, then we will free this crowd with a miner. Okay, and there we go. And then while that went on, the worker lemming will dig down here in such a way so that we can cancel him with a blocker later. There we go. Okay, so it looks like a basher assignment came in the meantime. There we go. So I went ahead and bashed out the crowd at this time. Doesn't really matter though. I definitely could have waited. Yep. Long after the path has been set up. Okay, 1 builder to the exit. He will turn around. Okay, and then we go ahead and mine through. And then once he breaks through, then we use our remaining 3 builders to patch up this gap. Okay, and he finishes just in time before the basher arrives. And regarding this gap, we will definitely have to do it from the left side. Yeah, we can't do it from the right side. Yeah, it just won't work. Okay, and that's already it. Okay, and if I am not mistaken, I believe this is the final level in the city tile set for the pack. Alrighty, Nightmare 4, Stop and Go. And we also have a time limit here, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, based on what I've seen in Icho's creator's commentary video, this level has received a lot of background fixes. So that was what kind of sucked about having to fix the level several times. But at the same time, ultimately the level has become quite a challenge now. And yes, it's certainly far difficult than it was originally. Although I have not seen the original versions, so I don't exactly know how much easier or how less harder it was. But anyway, yeah, in its current version, it's quite difficult. So we have two entrances here. Two entrances, one on the left, and one on the right here, and a 99 release rate. Okay, I'll let one Lemming go on by on the right side and block with the second one. Okay, the Lemming goes on ahead and floats, and then he blocks. And yes, here, because of the way I placed the blocker, I'm able to free him with a digger. Yeah, with the last Lemming on the right side. Okay, so he gets released, gets a floater, and then patches up this gap with a builder. Okay, and then I block with the first Lemming that's going to the left. And yes, this manages to be a safe drop. So this is just barely. Yeah, only a couple of pixels leeway there. Okay, and then with the final Lemming that's going to the left. No, not with the final one. The second to last one. Yeah, I mine to free the blocker. Because this miner will hit the steel and turn around. That's why. That's why we do it the second to last Lemming. Okay, so now we have two Lemmings going to the left. We will both get floaters. And then one of the Lemmings will mine into the steel and turn around. So that he can build and seal off this gap here. And then this digger, I should be canceling with the blocker soon. There we go. Okay, so the car will be nicely safe and tucked in here. Okay, and then upon sealing off the gap, we go ahead and bash to the right here. We can't allow him to turn around as this worker Lemming that's going to the left has a pretty long gap to seal up. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's going to take the rest of the builders that we have. Alright, and then with the last Lemming going to the left, we go ahead and bash to free the blocker. These two will go on ahead and take this exit over here, which is only accessible to floaters. And these two happen to be floaters. Okay, now all that's left to do is to have this worker Lemming build until we get to the exit. And it will take two more builders, and we only have two more builders anyway. Okay, and he finishes long before the crowd arrives. Okay, and our two remaining Lemmings, yeah, they have just reached the ground over here. So, 17 seconds to spare. Alright, the next one. Nightmare 5. 4 pals. So, as the title suggests, there's only 4 Lemmings here. And I guess it's kind of a reference to the time limit as well, since there are 4 minutes. Okay, this one can be difficult. It is a little difficult, but it's still not too hard. It's pretty much all about managing the Lemmings here properly, so as to get certain tasks done before anybody gets into danger. So first one out will dig down. Second one will build to the left while the digger's going. Okay, and the way I place the builder is in such a way so that any future Lemmings coming out the hatch will land on theirs before falling onto the ice pillar here, the snow pillar. Okay, and then here, I have him turn around to the right first, and then dig down. Okay, the Lemming that goes on down here will prepare this gap here. Okay, in the meantime, the builder that goes to the left will be in this pit over here. Okay, now I'll go ahead and start mining him out to the right. Okay, and I don't exactly understand why that digger got cancelled there. Yeah, I really don't understand. And I even watched Icho's creator's commentary video on this level, and the same thing happens there as well. I don't exactly know what causes that digger to stop. Alrighty. So then I have the Lemmings take the bottom route here. And then with the second one, I go ahead and bash. This will delay these Lemmings long enough to give this worker Lemming enough time to patch up this gap with builders. With 2 builders, that is. Okay, and this is just enough time for him to build long enough for the other Lemming that's coming to fall into terrain, rather than to the bottomless pit here. So the one that managed to slip by, yeah, he will bash on across. Yeah, and the builder has enough time to seal off the gap before anyone else can fall through. Okay, so the rest of the Lemmings will take this detour up here. So in the meantime, the Lemming that just finished bashing, he needs to prepare these builders in order to catch the Lemmings coming from the top. Okay, so that takes up the rest of our builders. Okay, and he finishes long before the Lemmings will arrive. Okay, and then here, he has way more than enough time to distort the terrain before anyone gets into danger and falls to the ice blower trap. So here we can either bash or mine, it does not really matter. Yeah, here I decided to use a miner instead. Okay, and that's already it. Okay, and we managed to finish with 25 seconds to spare here. Alrighty, Nightmare 6, Brick Confusion. Okay, this one was quite a difficult one. Yeah, this one took me a while before I managed to solve it. And I remember this one taking me a long time on Lemmini as well when I first played the level. Alrighty, at the start I maxed out the release rate and let 2 Lemmings out. They both get floaters. And then I do it again. Yeah, max out the release rate and release 2 more Lemmings. Okay, who also get floaters. Okay, and then I believe that for the rest, for the most part, I just leave it at the default. So what happened here? Okay, so the 2 Lemmings that are up ahead, they both get climbers as well. Okay, second climber will dig down this pillar. Okay, these other 2 that are next to each other, they will turn around. Yeah, we're gonna use some compression to get past this master trap. Okay, and the digger gets low enough just in time, so for the others to simply either slip by or take the bottom route. Alright, the one that survives will build this platform to catch the crowd. Okay, and this manages to use all the floaters. Okay, and then the non-floater will dig down before the master trap, so that future Lemmings will fall down here and avoid the trap. Okay, this is the climber, so he went over the one-way pillar here, while the next one is not a climber, so therefore he turns around. And yes, the builder that just built this platform, he unfortunately will be lost to the wheel trap here. Okay, and this is the climber that dug down this pillar over here, so now he's down here. Okay, unfortunately, this Lemming is far enough ahead to build over the gap before the climber is able to fall into the quicksand. Yeah, just barely though. Okay, and then I use the floater, the athlete, I should say, yeah, to make a bomber hole, so that the climber that was just coming up will hoist himself into the hole, and then he will now build this platform for the crowd coming up from the, well, not the crowd, oh yes, the crowd, yeah, that's coming from the top, so that they don't go splat. Okay, and then with the next floater, I go ahead and mine with him. Okay, and then with the first Lemming that reaches the builder, I go ahead and block so that he turns around. Yeah, as it's critical that he survives since he is the athlete. Okay, max out the release rate. Okay, so the athlete, he needs to turn around in order to mine the crowd out. Okay, and I did it in such a way so that he turns around when he hits the steal. And if all there's left to do is to comic bomb him. And that's it. Alrighty, and then nuke the blocker. And we are done. Alrighty, Nightmare 7. Tactical Foul. Okay, this one has a neat trick to it. But other than that, yeah, it's not too difficult at all. So here we have 3 entrances. Yeah, one on the left, and then one in the middle here, and then one on the right. Okay, first Lemming out, this entrance gets a climber. Okay, and the trick here is this. First Lemming that was out from this hatch here, he goes ahead and makes a hole in this wall here by becoming a miner. Okay, and then he gets a floater, so that he survives the fall. Okay, now the climber is able to use the hole that the miner made in order to build, to patch up this gap, and to get the Lemmings up here. Okay, next Lemming that's out from this entrance, he goes ahead and mines to the right. Okay, in the process, he will mine this crowd free. Okay, the climber that goes on ahead, he needs a floater to survive this fall. And then we also need a builder so to make us platform for the others that are coming, falling from the top here. Okay, and then once he turns around, we go ahead and mine. And yes, at this time, I go ahead and bash this crowd out. Okay, and then I go ahead and bomb here. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I bombed the athlete. And then with any Lemming that's in the bomber hole, we go ahead and bash to the left. In this way, we manage to bash through everything. Yeah, rather than just use an individual basher for each of the obstacles. Yeah, as we do not have enough destructive skills to do so. Okay, and then finally, all that's left to do is to build to patch up this gap. And that's it. Very, very nice level here. This is definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, mostly due to the minded trick that's needed here. Alrighty, Nightmare 8. Up and down the shafts. A little difficult, but it's still not too hard. Alrighty, so 2 entrances here. One at the top and then one at the bottom. This one has Lemmings going out to the right, while this one has Lemmings going out to the left. Alrighty, with the first Lemming out from the bottom hatch, I go ahead and make him build, so as to leave the builder step past the steel block. The thin steel block. And yes, first Lemming that's out from the top entrance, I also make him block. So this crowd is now safely contained for the time being. Okay, and the first Lemming to the right here will block, turning the rest of the Lemmings from the bottom hatch to the left. Okay, here we let 2 Lemmings go on by. Okay, while I delay the rest of the crowd with a miner, with the third one. Okay, first one will go on ahead and float down and land on this builder step here, while the next one coming up will build, so that future Lemmings will be consolidated with the group over here. And yes, with the last Lemming out from the bottom entrance, we need to mine the blocker free. Okay, and both of these will get floaters and use the exit over here. Okay, in the meantime, the worker Lemming that goes on ahead will build to patch up this gap. Okay, he also gets a climber. And then we go ahead and dig down. Yeah, and then mine. And yes, I also go ahead and bomb the blocker here. to release the crowd. And then, to avoid falling down this deadly shaft, we need to go ahead and dig down. And then, yes, I send up another climber for the crowd here. And then, once the climber's high enough, then I go ahead and bomb him. In such a way so that the crowd can step up into the bomb hole. Okay, then I bash through. And then finally, all that's left to do is to, well, not the last one, but we need to go ahead and patch up this gap with a builder so that we can get to the exit. And then the last thing to do is to patch up this gap with a builder, and that's it. Okay, and there we go. So, climber and the floor left over, but this is acceptable. Alrighty, Nightmare 9. Pipe Grid Puzzle. Okay, and we also have a time limit of 2 minutes here. Okay, the current version in Lemmini is very, very backroutable. Here, in the new Lemmings version, this also had to receive several back route fixes. And in the current version, it seems to be all patched up and stable now. But with some levels, yeah, especially with ones that had to receive a lot of fixes, you can never tell. But anyway, somewhat of a difficult level here. Alright, well, one of the lemmings here, I go ahead and dig. So pretty much like the 5th to last one, I believe. At least that's what I did here. Okay, and then with one of the lemmings in the crowd, I go ahead and send out a climber to the right. Okay, he goes ahead and patch up this gap with a builder, and then build so that the last lemming will proceed further to the right. And then, yeah, with the last lemming that falls in here, he will go ahead and dig down. Okay, and the builder finishes just in time before the lemming arrives and falls to the bubble bath here. Okay. And he's a climber, so he's able to get himself back in. Okay, we get the 2 bomber pickups here. And yes, we go ahead and build up to the right here. And then also patch up this gap with a builder. It's pretty much all due to timing here. And then patch up this gap with a builder. Okay, and the climber that just came back, we go ahead and bomb him. Yeah, so now the lemmings can go ahead and proceed further to the left. Okay, build over the circle trap here. And then bomb the digger once he's low enough so that it breaks through both sides of the pipe. Okay, and then we go ahead and build over this circle trap. And this is done just in time so that the lemming that's coming up right now won't get killed by the trap here. Or rather get sucked by the trap. And then finally all that's left to do is to patch up the final gap to the exit, and that's it. So this is pretty much the trick that's needed here. Yeah, we need to do these builders simultaneously. Okay, and to achieve that, we need to do the right timing and spacing. Can be a little difficult to do. And as a matter of fact, my solution ended up being a slightly different from Icho's solution in his creator's commentary video. But in any case, yeah, just take whatever solution works. Just know that solutions that you may see on YouTube or wherever, yeah, don't just think that that it's necessarily the only solution. Yeah, as there could be slight variations, and in some cases there can also be multiple solutions. Yeah, they turn out to be completely different from one another. And the last level for this video, Nightmare 10, Shadowrun. Okay, and there's a time limit of 3 minutes here, which according to Icho, it's not really needed. It's just really there as decoration, you might say. Okay, and I believe something that wasn't mentioned, well, it was mentioned. This was one of the first levels that Icho has ever created. And although I think the one thing that was not mentioned was this level actually ended up winning one of the LDCs. I don't remember which number it was, but I think I remember that just from readings that I've done on the forum site. So here we have a 99 release rate. And fortunately here, only one entrance. Okay, we dig down, and it's done with the lemming in such a way so that only one lemming will get trapped into the digger pit along with the digger. Yeah, while everyone else goes out to the right. Okay, the lemming that gets trapped in along with the digger, he falls out to the left. So he'll proceed to patch up the gaps to the left, while the digger will proceed to patch up this gap to the right. Okay, here I sent out two climbers, not all directly next to each other. Yeah, I have them a little spaced out. Okay, this takes two builders, but these water gaps also take one builder each, so technically two builders in total as well. Alright, so in the meantime, here we go ahead and bomb against the wall here. It does break the staircase, but at the same time, the wall is low enough so that everyone can still go out to the left. Okay, first Lemming that reaches the wall here, or almost reaches the wall, he mines, so that it turns the other climber around. And yes, a path to the master traps is open here, but it doesn't really matter as they're both going out to the left. Alrighty, so here the first climber goes on ahead and bashes through this one-way wall, and he will also proceed to patch up this gap with a builder that can only be done from the right side. And then the next climber will dig down this pipe here. Okay, and then we go ahead and bash through this pipe here in such a way so that the basher and one other lemming goes on to the left here. Everyone else will be taking this detour over here. And yes, there's that builder. And then one of the lemmings becomes a climber here. The other one will turn to the right and simply patch up this gap with a builder. So catching the other lemmings that are coming back to the left right now. So that digger still has a while. Okay, so the climber that just went over the top here, he'll bash through the one-way pipe here. Yeah, or if you prefer a one-way wall, which is not really a wall here, considering what we just bashed through. Okay, now the digger's low enough, and he goes ahead and bombs through, so that it breaks through both sides. Okay, he gets a floater, and also patches up this gap with a builder. And yes, the basher gets lost to the master trap here. Okay, and that's already it. Okay, so now everyone has a path to the exit, because everything has been prepared. Alrighty, and 5 seconds to spare there. Though again, not really needed, since you followed the solution in the video, you're not going to run out of time. Alrighty, so that was the first 10 levels of the Nightmare rank. So next time we will do 10 more levels of the rank. I hope you enjoyed this video of the Lemmings Reunion level solving commentary, and I'll see you all for the next one.